Hi, Mr. Melrose. I'm Jamie. I'm a nurse practitioner here at the clinic.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You can have a seat right there.
Thank you.
Okay, so what brings you in here today?
So I have a cold sore on my lip that I'd like to get looked at.
Okay. And have you ever had a sore like that before?
Yes, I've had them in the past. Probably about a year now.
Okay. And then when did your symptoms first start?
They started on Monday after the weekend.
And how did you feel when your symptoms first started?
It's like a tingly feeling kind of in my lip.
Uh-huh. And how has it changed from the first time the symptoms started?
So it started and it was tingly, and then as it progressed, a couple days later, it started to hurt. Kind of builds up in there, and then to a point where it kind of just a little bit comes out, and then it scabs over.
A little bit of what?
I don't know, some pus of some sort.
Okay. Let's see. So you say it's about how long does a sore normally last for?
Probably about 1 to 2 weeks.
1 to 2 weeks. And then how many times in the past year would you say it's happened to you?
In the past year, I'd say 3 to 4 times.
Okay. And is this painful? Can you describe it to me if it is on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the worst pain you've ever had in your life?
I would say it's a 1. It's
Okay.
just uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, like a stabbing or a burning or...
Kind of more of a stabbing.
Okay. And then how does this affect your lifestyle or habits or just taking in food?
Doesn't affect anything with my appetite or anything like that. It's just kind of embarrassing, and it's a little sore at times.
Okay. And then would you say you have any fever or chills or just generalized not feeling well along with having the sore at the same time?
Typically not like a fever or chills or anything. It's more or less, if I'm stressed or restless, kind of brings them on as well, but I've never really... if I'm sick, it's normally like in the inside of my mouth.
Okay. And then have you done anything to try to get rid of the sore?
Yeah, I use Abreva. I go and buy that, and I just put that on, kind of layer it on daily.
Okay. Would you say it makes it better or worse?
It's hard to tell, really. I'd say that at the beginning it kind of helps a little bit, and kind of moving on, it takes away from the tingling and the pain, stabbing a little bit, but I wouldn't say it does that much for me.
Okay. And then so is there anything that you've done to make it worse?
Making it worse, just kind of poking at it and touching it never really helps.
Okay.
It kind of just gets worse from there.
Yeah.
That and more sunlight. If I'm out and it gets a sunburn or anything, it kind of makes it worse.
Okay. Let's see. So a typical episode, you say when you're stressed or around the sunlight is when it normally happens?
Yeah, definitely when I'm stressed, and I think this one's because I got sunburned and my lip kind of freaked out.
Oh, okay. And then, so now that we've talked about that, I'm just going to ask you some general questions.
Okay.
So do you have any allergies, medication, food, or environmental?
Nothing with medication or foods. I do have allergies to normal stuff outside.
Okay. So seasonal allergies?
Yeah, seasonal allergies. Ragweed, dust, other things.
Okay. So no medication allergies?
No,
you said?
not at all.
Okay. And then I'm just going to ask you about your past medical history.
Okay.
Have you had any surgeries or ever been admitted to the hospital before?
Yeah, actually, just in January. In July, actually. It was, I ruptured my Achilles in my right leg. Yeah.
Yeah. And is it healed up by now?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. And then, is it the only surgery you've had?
No, I had my knee scoped in my left knee for a torn meniscus, and I also had my appendix removed, and this is all probably within the past 5 years.
Okay. And then, as far as childhood illnesses go, have you had anything, like, have you ever had the chicken pox before?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had chicken pox.
Okay.
That was probably the extent of it.
Okay. And then immunizations, do you know if they're all up to date?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Do you have a record of those?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We'll just have to get those transferred at some point.
Okay.
And then, did you get the flu shot this year?
Yes, I did.
All right. And what about medications? Do you take any medicines right now? You said you do the Abreva.
Yeah, I take Singular for my seasonal allergies.
Okay. And then, how long have you been taking that?
Probably for 2 years.
2 years?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there anything that you take for pain off and on, like a Tylenol or ibuprofen?
I take ibuprofen
Okay.
fairly regularly.
What dose do you normally take?
Typically take about 3 to 4 of them for
Of the
inflammation.
200 milligram pills?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, like, how many times a day?
Probably once a day.
Once a day?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Singular, it's
It's once a day.
how many milligrams? Do you remember?
I think it's 20 or 30.
20 or 30. Okay. Well, we'll just get your medical records transferred from the previous office.
Okay.
And then you don't do any herbal therapies or complementary therapies
No.
per se? Okay. And then now I'm just going to ask about your family history. Any cancer or high blood pressure, cardiac disease, respiratory problems?
So I have cancer in my family.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother and my uncle. Respiratory, my mom has sarcoidosis. She has a really hard time breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Heart disease, my dad has had a heart attack and he has had stents put in.
Okay.
When
was his heart attack? How old would you say he was?
He was probably early 40s.
Okay. And then are there any psychiatric illnesses, diabetes, thyroid disorders?
Yeah, my grandmother has diabetes, but it's really minor.
Okay. And then a stroke? Anyone have a stroke in your family?
Yeah, my grandmother's also had a stroke.
Okay. Is that it for family history?
My grandfather also has Alzheimer's.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask about you. So, where are you from?
From St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. Are you married? Do you have kids?
I'm not married and I do not have any kids.
Okay. Do you work?
Yes, I do. I'm an engineer at Hubble Power Systems.
Great.
It's in Centralia.
Okay. And then do you drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes?
I'd say I drink alcohol. I don't smoke at all.
Okay. And do you drink often? How many times a week would you say?
Probably a couple times a week. Probably like 2 to 4 drinks a week.
Okay. Any illegal drugs?
Nope.
Okay. I believe that's it for my questions for now. I'm going to go forward with the physical exam.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.